Greetings, Twilight Struggle fans, and welcome back to the ITSL All-Star Series here on Action Round Zero. It's been a great battle so far, and after 5 games, the Seattle Conference leads the Tenerife Conference 3-2 in this best of 7. So that means Seattle has an opportunity to close out the series today, and they'll turn to OTSL Season 4 champion Ryan Pindulic, while Tenerife captain Xie has tapped Weiran Xie to try to get to the series to a winner-take-all Game 7. Justin Abramson on the call for you today. You may recognize the name as the guy who just took an absolute beatdown in Game 5. 2022 New York Grand Slam champion J.R. Jones is coming right up. And we're happy to have you aboard for this one, wherever you may be, as two of the best in the world go head-to-head for conference supremacy here on Action Round Zero, Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. Now, JR, before we dive into this one, I'd like to start with a brief summary of the All-Star Series to orient those viewers who may be joining us for the first time in the series. Can you give us a quick rundown of the format and how it differs from prior years?
Yeah, Justin. Thanks for having me on. So the captains of each conference were selected. It was just the player who had the best overall ranking at the 50% mark through the season with a minimum of 8 games played, although we didn't have any issue with that this year. So that selected the 2 All-Stars. The players with the second and third best standings overall from each conference also automatically got an auto bid into All-Stars. After that, the team captains were allowed to select 2 players to give them, a little agency and a little congratulations for being the best in ITSL over half of the season. And then finally, as hopefully most of you know, we had a fun vote on the last 2 players for each. Justin, I believe that's how you got in, was with the vote, although a very well-deserved vote. So we mixed it up a little this year. In the past, it has just been the captains pick 6 people, kind of whoever they want. But this year we wanted to make sure that some of the higher standings got rewarded, and we wanted to get everyone a little more involved. That's another reason we're doing all of these games back to back to back for a whole week rather than spread out over the course of however long it takes for people to actually get their games in and play them. And thank you so much to all of the All-Stars for getting these videos to us. It's very appreciated. I know it's not the most convenient to record a video of a game sometimes, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad we were able to get these ones in on Action Round Zero. And so without further ado, let's dive into this one. It's Game 6. We're watching from Weiran's side, and he is the USA. So, JR, what do you think of this opening hand?
This is, a great hand, I would say, for the USA. You do wish maybe you could see one Soviet problem card just so you don't have to deal with it. But yeah, Middle East is going to be a great headline here. And then you've got some good ops.
Yeah, plenty of ops, and it's just like you said, no Soviet problem cards. Now, you will notice the graphic in the top right screen. Thank you to our executive producer for that. Had a little bit of a glitch with the video, no problem there, but Anton is a hero, and he went through to make sure we captured the VP track and what turn it is. So, just keep that in mind. We are, and if, in case you forget, Weiran is playing the USA, and Ryan playing the USSR, representing the Seattle Conference. And Weiran goes to the 3-3-2 setup, typical Chinese player setup. Does not have any Europe attack cards in his hand, so we might see Ryan try to punish that. And particularly might try to punish that with Middle East scoring being headlined. Oh, and Ryan's going to go a different way.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so Ryan must have defectors in hand. I feel like there's no way you would risk decall here if you didn't have defectors in your hand, especially with the 3-3-2 setup. I know that is the most common setup for a lot of the Chinese players in general, but that's a big risk if you don't have it.
Certainly, and also makes decall a little less effective because decall now does not threaten France. Of course, decall is certainly an awesome event, but not okay. Oh, just going to coup right away. Going to go for coup on Italy and hit it.
Wow,
Don't usually see that. What are your thoughts on that, JR?
That is not at all what I thought we were going to see there. I was just going to say that it's kind of hard to defectors at DEF CON 5 here with no France threat, because how do you prevent the Thailand coup? But I guess the answer is just you say, screw it, I'm coupping Italy and I'm rolling a 4.
Yeah. Well, wow, and even if Ryan had rolled a 1, to be clear, that Weiran would not have been able to coup Thailand. He would have had to fix Italy.
Right. That is a good point. So I assume this is going to be at least Thailand to 3 and some adjacency. No, just 2. Okay.
Okay, so Weiran with the opportunity now. If he wants to take a big coup on Thailand, needs a 5. He rolls a 4. Okay, are you using China here if you're Ryan? JR?
I would. I think you have to. Yeah, and Ryan agrees. This does give we're in an extra coup in Africa, but you can just coup that right back next turn anyway. That's not the end of the world to me.
Yep, and also gets you Lebanon if you're Ryan. Ryan is going to
Right.
miss out on Western Asia. It looks like DEFCON now down to 2. We won't see the DEFCON, but JR and I will do our best to keep track of it. So Ryan now is going to get Lebanon. Presumably he'll close off Algeria, and he's going to need to overprotect Thailand at some point. Want to get into South Korea, but yeah, I think you had to flip with China, and then I think at that point, a no-brainer for Weiran to go ahead and coup Angola. Would you overprotect Zaire right away? What would be your priority order here, JR?
If I have 3 ops, Algeria, Zaire, Lebanon is what I'm doing. If he does not have, if he only has a 2 op, I would just go Algeria and Lebanon here.
No Lebanon.
Interesting.
I guess with Middle East scored, perhaps he's not that worried about it, but I still like taking Lebanon.
Yeah, make the U.S. spend a couple ops somewhere else, at some point in the turn. What? We're in here looking like he wants to fill South Korea, but why would you risk the 50% war when you could go into pack and risk a 33% war? Like, that just seems, yeah, I like this play a lot better.
Yeah, it seems unlikely. It seems very likely to me that with Middle East scored, Ryan is going to go into South Korea on this turn. So if Weiran wanted to contest it, that was the turn to do it. But I like the safer play of going into Pakistan. You're almost certainly not going to be dominated in Asia. But Ryan, of course, has Italy, and that needs to be overprotected. Oh, okay. Ryan going to use defectors now, overprotect a couple of critically important early war battlegrounds. So not even going to try to hold defectors.
And Ryan with a little bit less ops in the back half of the turn here. So maybe his thought process on not taking Lebanon was he literally just doesn't have the ops to do it this turn. Because he had to overprotect both those battlegrounds. You can't give Italy or Thailand.
Yes. Oh, and a big 6 for Ryan. Very helpful for him. Takes 2 VPs back. Both players with enough mill ops this turn, obviously. Seen a big old coup fest. So what would your play?
And
this has to be South Korea, right?
Yeah, I think you need to get a couple ops in South Korea here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that makes probably more sense. Ooh, a jam of North Korea. Ted Livermore. Hope you're watching today. And this is a monster.
This is a monster. You can't block Europe in the headline with Marshall, but you get very close. I think it's Marshall here. I would do that.
100% Marshall has to be. Yeah, you're not going to block the Dom in the headline, but you will be able to do an AR1.
Yeah. And Ryan really has some stuff he wants to do. He wants to coup. He wants to fix North Korea. So
now Defectors is gone. So if Ryan has Europe, he'll almost certainly headline it.
Yeah, not much you would headline over it.
Ooh, IP war. So yeah, the jam of North Korea means Weiran does not get into India. This will be a huge war win for Ryan if he can get it. Oh, and he hits the
and
roll.
he
War's
does.
been hot.
So now, if you're Ryan, what would you do? Would you take North Korea and maybe overprotect Pakistan, or would you just take your coup here?
Yeah, so if you coup, you're presumably going to lose North Korea, and with it, the Dom. Yeah, I think if I had Europe or Asia, I would want to score it now. Ryan's going to play.
Okay, so this is just going to be North Korea pack, not Pakistan. Interesting.
Okay.
So the option to flip it is just there now. I don't love the one to Tunisia here. It gives Millops, and he's offering a pack flip and saying, okay, I'll take Lebanon. But do you really want to give up Pakistan and then India back to back to take Lebanon here? Like, I'm not sure about that.
You mean Libya, right? But yes.
Yes.
It's interesting to me. Middle East is scored, so Lebanon wasn't that important to Ryan, and yet Ryan is willing to give up Millops and potentially a pack flip to get into Libya. it's a little bit weird to me. But okay, Ryan takes a dom in Asia. So now, okay, so Weiran wants to take the flip, which I think is right. I think that's what he's got to do. But now, if I'm Ryan, I think I'd much rather coup than take Libya, right?
Yeah, or even, I mean, Pakistan or India is just sitting there now too, and it's going to be a very important battleground. Like,
Oh,
okay, that's not good.
okay. Ryan
The
with
rest of that hand is decent.
yeah, pretty nice hand as well. But yeah, anything but a one here. Okay, and Ryan now has to give that up. Okay,
Maybe
so
Ryan was thinking he'll invite the flip so he can get CIA out, but I don't know. The board looks pretty bad for that CIA and Pakistan flip.
yeah, okay, and yeah, 5 year plan in. So yeah, I think if Weiran had cooed there, a 5 year plan could be GG. So Ryan, yeah, Ryan really wanted China back, and he did not want to give up. He didn't want to make sure he got rid of CIA.
Right. And Weirin also knows now that he can hold D-stall through. There's no reason to UN it. You can just hold D-stall through. Blockade was not over there, if I saw correctly.
Yep. Yes, Ryan does not have blockade, so blockade's going to come out turn 3.
Unfortunately for Ryan, Asia and Europe both not going to come until turn 3.
Yep. So that's that's a tough break. Middle East comes and Weirin picks up an easy 4 VPs. Ryan doing well, of course, in Asia and in Europe, but he's probably not going to be able to sustain these dom. Well, maybe in Asia, but
That's surprising to me. Oh, no, he played China. He played China. Never mind. He still gets to hold D-stall. Okay, never mind. That play makes much more sense. I apologize. I forgot that Weirin played China, so obviously he can still hold D-stall.
and casually giving Fidel there to fight hard for India.
Ryan does need to take presence in the Middle East. He needs to spend at least 2 in Iraq here.
Yeah, and I was just about to say it's turn 2 AR5, and neither player has invested anything in South Korea. Ryan finally does put 2 there, and we're going to see containment now, which is significant because Romanian is a little bit of a, I don't want to say a problem, but it's a little bit annoying for Weiran. Weiran now going to have to spend both of these ops in Europe to stop Dom there, and that's indeed exactly what he's going to do.
Ryan does not take presence in the Middle East. He says, don't worry, you're not redrawing Middle East.
And indeed, Weiran doesn't, but he gets some nice stuff here. 2 4s, a couple of 3s as well, and he gets Nasser, which he will now control.
Yeah, looking over at Ryan's known cards there, Weirin definitely got the better draw here, probably again.
Certainly, yeah. NORAD is annoying. Independent Reds also annoying. Ryan gets Europe, but unless he also redrew a Europe attack card, he's not going to score that Dom.
And I would have a hard time, even with the Europe attack card, I would have a hard time passing up a Zaire coup here because I really want to get something back going in Africa.
Yeah, I think I agree. In the meantime, Weiran gets 2 4s, 2 3s, and controls Asia scoring. So Weiran may be able to try and contest this Dom. We'll see. Now, Ryan does have China and Pakistan looking eminently flippable, and of course, India out there as well.
Yeah, if Ryan wants to fight for it, I think he should be able to get Asia Dom here, even if he takes a coup on AR1. Yeah. Because Weiran can't take India and protect Pakistan at the same time. He'll have to choose one or the other, and Ryan can use China to flip it, which I think is worth it at this point. I would do that. CIA is gone.
Yeah, so I guess Ryan here would probably just headline Europe based on his known cards. Could also headline Vietnam, but I think you headline Europe, you coup, and then you spend the rest of the turn fighting for Asia because Ryan really needs to get that Dom. He's got very little going on in the mid-war regions.
I agree with that. And yeah, Vietnam can probably wait. There's not a huge rush on that. So yeah, I like getting Europe out of my hand immediately just so I can free it
Yep,
up.
that's exactly what he's going to do. And U.S. Japan will not stop Dom.
Yeah, does get him a little closer though. I think if I'm Ryan here, definitely this is just a Zaire coup for me now.
Yeah, I think you got to just coup Zaire. What with what though? Like, are you cooing with independent Reds?
Yeah,
With
I get.
Truman in? Yeah, it's got to be Truman. You don't want to coup with independent Reds. Oh, he rolls a
Oh,
6, so that's big. That's a huge number for Ryan. But yeah, you don't want to coup with independent Reds, give up 3 in Romania, and then also have to give up Truman.
right.
So
And I
now, yeah,
think now we need to take one of these battlegrounds.
yeah. So we're in. Realize the math ain't math in here for him. He can't. But he can't. He could take India, but then Pakistan's getting flipped. He could overprotect Pakistan, but then India's getting taken. So he's going to lose India. Now country count sitting at 5-5. Ryan does not have any known good cards in his hand. Is his problem, other than of course China. So you could see just China to India to Burma,
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all.
and then one either maybe Vietnam or overprotect a battleground.
Yeah, I think you have 3 battlegrounds. Not okay. That's a decent draw. Oh, playing scared.
Okay, Ryan worried about IP war. But I guess also wants to
Oh,
make it hard to stop Dom by simply taking Burma.
right. He could flip Indo and fill India with the China card here now, right?
Yeah, I think you flip and overprotect Indonesia and go one India, right? You can't.
Does
Yeah, you don't want to allow an Indo
does
flip
that?
back.
I don't think that. I don't think that will take Dom though, right? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it
Is
does.
that right?
No,
Yeah.
that'll be
So if you
7.
want to do it,
Flipping Indonesia and taking India would be 7
oh
countries
yeah,
for
but
Ryan.
you can't overprotect India and take India on the same AR.
No, well, you can't with 5 ops, right? 4 ops into Indonesia.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I thought you needed 2 in India. You're absolutely correct. So yeah, I like your play then. I like flip it. I think you need the VP here.
Yeah, and then Vietnam is known in Ryan's hand, so if Weiran wanted it, he'd have to put 3 in Vietnam, which I can't imagine
Right.
he's going to do. It would stop Dom, but then Ryan
We're
could just start poking.
Yeah, Weirin also only has 1 unknown card. D-Stall, Nasser, Asia, Olympic are all known, I believe. So Ryan knows that he doesn't have the most ops over here either. I think this is worth burning China. I want my 5 VP or
100%.
whatever it
Ryan's
is.
got to score this Dom, given how the mid-war regions look, and given how the Middle East looks as well. And the fact
Yeah,
that Weiran got Marshall off, and Europe's going to be even, probably, for the rest of the game. And Brush, obviously, well, JR, is Brush War a useful card?
no. I mean, it gives you 3 ops. That's sometimes valuable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're under like Cuban Missile Crisis. No, he gives up the Asia.
Oh, I can't believe this.
I don't. I don't. He doesn't even get. He gets 0 VP out of Asia. I don't know.
Unless he redrew Middle East, which would be a nightmare draw for Ryan. I don't understand that at
Even
all.
then,
Just use
even
Indie
then,
Reds to
don't we have enough
go.
time?
Yeah, just use Indie Reds to go India, Vietnam.
Yeah,
No,
like.
no, that's not good enough. Never mind. Yeah, he redrew. Okay,
Oh, he did
now it
read
makes
at
sense.
least.
Now it makes sense. Yeah, that's a
I
brutal
don't know.
draw.
Couldn't you have still drawn China, like, or used China, like, gotten? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. And he gets to get off a free Nasser because he redrew it. But just a nightmare draw for Ryan.
Oh, that is brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would think you'd use China there to flip Indonesia, take India. Uh, boy.
So what do you think about that blockade play? Because you could make him put D-Stall back in the deck just in case you get assault.
For me, I don't know how valuable that is. You know, hoping we draw Salt is good, but also if he wants to hang on to D-Stall into the mid-war, he could draw other problem cards.
Yeah,
You
I
know, He could draw gunmen. He
We
could draw We Will Bury You. OPEC, obviously not a big concern, but there's other stuff out there that he wouldn't want to draw. And to me, it's half one, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, I've definitely been burned before by holding D-stall into the mid-war and then just drawing a fistful of disaster red cards and having to give up some stuff I'd really rather not because I have it in my hand.
Yep. And, keeps blockading the deck for the late war. Okay, so Ryan picks up 1 VP on Millops, and I'm sorry to overuse this phrase, JR, but here's another monster.
Yeah, I mean, CRG, what more could you ask for? CRG, Brush, Usuri, Voice, like, my goodness.
Voice doesn't do a ton here. Really, it's going to be, you could use Voice, I guess, on Algeria and Tunisia, which would be something.
I would probably reserve it here in case, we see a Junta or a Allende or something like that.
I would not headline Voice. Brush could go to Italy, but again, I think I'd keep my powder dry on that as well, in case again we see Junta, and we need to do something in South America.
For my money, this is CRG for me. I like CRG.
Interesting.
Defectors saving 1 VP. I don't love a turn 4 defectors. Like he might have something monstrous, he might have nothing. I think CRG's the better.
The only reason not to do CRG. And he goes Brush. He could have VOA'd that instead. He goes Brush. I was gonna say the only reason not to do CRG is because you want to leave Algeria and Tunisia as VOAable.
Sure. We are going to see VOA now, probably, I would think. Just VOA him out.
I'd VOA him out of Panama, and then I guess Algeria. It doesn't really matter if he can get back in. But yeah, I'd VOA him out of Panama.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is fine. You're not going to...
Ryan's probably not going to prioritize putting a third in Panama anytime soon. So
no, he's going to stop this Dom. But when he does stop, I would have rather gone Cameroon than Zimbabwe, right? Because when Ryan's going to go to Cameroon here, he's going to fix Algeria, and he's going to go to Cameroon, and now you have to overprotect Nigeria.
You could VOA now and just take the one out of Cameroon while you're doing it. Like you were saying, there's not a ton of useful places to.
And now he rolls a 1. Yeah, that's a mistake by Weiran, in my opinion. Weiran needed to go to Cameroon instead of Zimbabwe. And Ryan's not going to flip. But he gets Allende, and that's going to be very sad times for him.
That is a disaster for Ryan. Yeah, I don't know why allow a Nigeria flip here. I don't know if it's a Dom flip right away, but it's pretty darn close to it. And I don't know why Ryan isn't taking it. Like, take your battleground. You have China if you needed it. Like,
yeah, I would have forced Ryan to coup Cameroon if he wanted it. Okay, Ryan really doesn't want to spend China.
Yeah,
we've been encouraging him to spend China, and he's holding it. He's holding it in reserve. Okay, so Weiran gets a coup in Nicaragua. Both players with enough Millops. There's Vietnam finally. Oh, and Vietnam not filled. Oh, no, brutal one there. That is a brutal one. Now we can see Costa Rica.
He can walk to Panama.
And the overprotect. Oh, that's a disaster for Ryan.
Yeah, that's a really bad coup war loss for him.
Ryan,
what is he?
Another one up.
What could Ryan's hand be here? What that he's holding something that he didn't want to UN.
He must have 5-year plan, right?
Okay, that makes sense. I can't. There's nothing else that I can think of that play makes sense.
Right. What else would he want to hold to next turn?
I can't think of a red card that he would have wanted to just hold back. I mean, maybe like a Purge or something, but I would think if it was Purge, you just flip.
Yeah, you would have flipped Nigeria. That's way
Nigeria.
More yeah, I like Vietnam and Panama's fine. Or Panama and one Ivory Coast is also fine with me. Nigeria, very important country here. Yeah,
I'm probably thinking that it's likely Ryan will just coup it next turn anyway. So if he does that, the Ivory Coast is useless. Okay, now here's a bad hand.
Yeah, so plenty of ops here, but some problems. OPEC, not a big deal. It's free if you're used to poke a rock. Willie's annoying. We will bury you, gunman, D-stall, sock guns. This is the exact type of hand that makes you wish, darn, I wish I had space D-stall when I had the chance.
Well, and you only have one kind of reasonable headline in Panama, but you don't want to do that and just give him the nicest Venezuela coup he can get. I might headline "We will bury you" here, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. You headline "We will bury you." Yeah, you give up the 3 VPs, but you deny the coup. Force Nigeria to be realigned instead of couped.
And then we can coup Cameroon and
okay.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Okay, so Ryan going to be very happy with that. Now he's going to get Panama.
And probably has a pretty good idea that there's a trash hand over here. So we'll see if he's able to take advantage of that.
Yep. So I wonder. Okay, yeah, no, just gonna take Panama. Not gonna try the Colombia play.
And that makes sense.
Yep, and Ryan definitely gonna be sad to see that. OPEC, Willie, and Portuguese are all mild annoyances, but none of them are huge problems. Yeah, Ryan.
Correct. Yeah.
Too little, too late. I'm afraid.
Yeah. This is 1 VP. Willie's 1 VP. These are not disasters by any means.
Yep. Ryan wants his realigns on Nigeria, though. I think now's the time, right? Oh no, just gonna.
I'm surprised at that. I mean, you get Nigeria, and maybe he just didn't want to get into a coup war in Africa.
Yeah, if you miss on those rolls and then you allow a Cameroon coup, then you're dominated with no real path out of it. So Pup's got to go to space to stop the. No, it doesn't stop the double. Never mind. It just gets Ryan to space 1. I did forget about the possibility of double space. Oh, and Weiran hits both to pick up a couple of VPs there.
Huh. Ryan, it looks like, might have another garbage hand, which maybe explains why he just dumped Africa.
Okay, Salt.
Well, Salt's a good one.
Picking up D-stall to go into the bottom half of South America, presumably. And that's another reason Ryan definitely wanted to dump Africa. He didn't want to give Salt. Didn't want to play Salt with a scoring in his hand when things are about to get high defcon weird. Yeah, I think at this point don't you go Brazil and then go into Uruguay to force Ryan to D-stall immediately?
Yes, but I would not do it with the 4. I would do it with either of those 2 ops because then you can reserve the 4 to coup with if you wanted to.
Yeah. Now, the other question is, what do you do with gunmen? You could give it up now, but then defcon's going to go to 2, and you're giving him free passage into the uncontested bottom half of South America. What do you like?
I like this because this is going to prompt a D-stall right away, and then we can give up gunmen, I think. I do think there was no reason to overprotect West Germany right now. That's not a priority for me, but the rest of this, I agree
Yeah, so he's going to presumably he's going to give Willie, and he's going to maybe coup with that. So now you're going to give the D-stall right away, and then presumably you'll see a gunman coup. Weiran also needs mill ops, so that's important as well. In fact, I think both players do, if I'm not mistaken.
A little tough for Ryan to find some D-stall food here. You don't really want to give Romania, but I think you might have to.
Yep, this is the.
I took some out of Egypt.
Yep, took one. Yeah, I like 1 out of Egypt. Keep your access there. Make Weiran event Sadat when it comes. Okay, and he's going to give gunman here. Ryan, I think, just coups Nigeria, allows the coup back. And then Ryan gets the draw in South America.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for Ryan that that was a monster roll for both of them.
Yep, and that's the.
And yet, Ryan wisely overprotecting.
Yep, can't allow a poke there, and that coup makes sense. Okay, so here we are to turn 6, and VP track is even, and more ops for Weiran. My goodness, lots of ops this game for Weiran.
Yeah, this hand, really not too much of a problem. You might have to give up 1 kind of bad card here, but Most of these are pretty fine.
Duck is a perfectly
Cultural,
fine headline. Yeah, with We Will
yeah.
Bury You gone forever now. That's a nice, easy 3, unless we see ABM, in which case it might be 2. Cultural AR1, barring a China play. And yeah, that's annoying, but not the worst thing in the world. Muslims is annoying, but it's not going to give him a ops he can use in unscored regions.
Right. So this is just Egypt, Libya, right? And then you can coup Nicaragua, and later you can retake Libya at your leisure.
Nope, I guess he's going to go Iran instead.
I guess he does only have 2 ops to respond with, so you know he wasn't coming. But
Yep. Now, meantime, Ryan needs to protect Cuba, or he needs to score Central here if he has it. Well, Ryan giving the Pope.
just a 1-4, so not a disaster there.
Yep, that's what I
That's a
count on.
disaster, though.
That's what I count on, JR. Is people saying, oh, 1-4, it's fine. I'll just leave it there.
That roll is really bad, though.
Yep. Yep. You absolutely try the realigns here, don't you, with cultural right now? At +1?
The only consideration is you might want to retake like a Libya while you can,
Yeah, that's true. Well, certainly you're using
because the
cultural
Middle
right
East.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why you would use any other card.
Yeah, I would use cultural for whatever I'm about to do here. I think I might go ahead and take Libya myself, but I can understand relighting Cuba. The problem is we just don't have any other targets for realignment after Cuba.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I think you've got to use cultural here. The 1 VP doesn't really matter, and a third op could have been meaningful. Now, yeah, that's a big swing in tempo. Now Ryan can take Haiti and presumably Libya.
Yeah, which I would think has to be the play here is take Haiti, put 2 in Libya.
Yeah, you use cultural there, and then you event Nixon later. China's yours into the late war. Even with gunmen gone, having China in the late war is important. Oh, and Ryan decides to score and pick up his 2. Okay, and there's cultural.
I mean, couldn't you have taken Libya and Haiti, and then even if he coups it, you still can dump Central,
Yeah, I don't.
and you have Libya?
I completely agree with that. Unless Ryan doesn't have a 3 op.
Yes, that's possible. But he has China. I don't
Okay,
know.
and he's got Purge.
There's a
So
4 op.
yeah, that.
See, I would.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you just do that play a turn earlier. You get Haiti and you get Libya, which is better than Iran because a decent chance you're getting Iran someday anyway.
Yeah, I like getting Libya. Could be very important. But Ryan does slip over Iran, but I like one. If you're going to use a 4 up there, I like 1 Haiti, 2 Libya, and then just 1 Iran. That's fine. Okay, Weiran misses on his coup attempt. Gives up the 1 VP. So I've been kind of thinking that Weiran is way ahead here, but that's really not the case. No dominations on the board for anybody. Even Southeast Asia is even. This is a VP track is at 1 red. This is an incredibly close game. Would you agree, JR?
Yeah, no, this is a barn burner for sure. I kind of agree that I felt like Ryan is behind all game, but that if you just take a step back and look, it's really not the case at all. Basically, most of these regions are scoring for like 0 to 2. Like this is a very close one.
Oh, and there. Oh, and he realigns and he gets him out of Nigerian
Oh,
1. That's huge.
yeah,
Another. Yeah,
that's an Africa flip.
yeah. That's a big Africa flip. Another reason why I would have liked Libya is if we're giving up Egypt there, but I guess he still has access in there anyway with Tunisia.
I know you
Alliance
don't
could be an event here. What do you think?
I know you don't love to coup a 1 stab in Africa with a 3 op card, but if you cooed Cameroon here, Ryan has to step in Nigeria, and then you can Brezhnev realign Zaire at +2 and with Angola backup to just completely clear him out of that area.
Yeah, that's true. Alliance. Yeah,
The three,
I was thinking Alliance could be an event here, but yeah, I think it probably has to be the ops. I don't understand why Brazil needs to be overprotected.
I guess just to prevent a coup, maybe. ABM is around, so like ABM headline, coup Brazil, second coup on Venezuela or something, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely understand overprotecting Venezuela, but I think Brazil, you trust the real lines to get you any mess there. I like your Cameroon play. I also wouldn't have minded taking 3 VPs. Okay, yeah, I guess you're going to discard Che and hope you don't draw scoring. You get Camp David. Flower power
Only
not in
one
effect.
scoring.
I would.
Only one scoring was out there, right?
That's true. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Only South America. So yes, Brezhnev here. Camp David, I would event, and yeah, there we go.
That's a problem.
I like that, particularly with Europe not control, but Europe domination in the balance. And Junta was coming, so Weiran gets Junta, but Ryan gets ABM. If I'm not drawing correctly, and a casual
Let me
Purge
know if you've
redraw
heard
as
this
well.
before. Let me know if you've heard this before, but Weirin has a lot of ops in his hand this turn.
Yes, he sure does. He's got 4 3s in his hand along with a Purge redraw.
Yeah,
Is this a what's your headline here? So many good choices. Bear Trap with Purge. You could headline Purge and Bear Trap later. You could Junta. Not obviously don't want to headline the scoring with ABM known in Ryan's hand. A lot of good choices here.
um, we don't know the holds. It looks like, or the known cards, but I'm pretty tempted to do Bear Trap here, and see if we can get Ryan to miss a roll, and we can really take advantage of Junta. I think.
Okay.
Um, but
Grain
you
is
could
in
also
Ryan's hand, isn't
purge.
it? Though. So easy
Yes, that
discard.
is. You could purge, and then you could bear trap on AR1, which could be a real problem for Ryan over there.
Yeah, a Purge here with I believe I don't know for sure with Grain known in Ryan's hand. A Purge is a big issue for him. I don't know what else is
Yeah.
known in his hand though. Okay, I'm going to take a Venezuela coup and hit. Now DEFCON's at 3, and Ryan is in trouble in Poland. In addition to Ryan will want to take Venezuela, he'll want a coup, and he'll want to also fix Poland, and he can't do all those things. Matter of fact, he can only do one of those things.
I assume this is Venezuela. South America's known in hand. Just do this.
Yep. And you force that play, and he misses. So Ryan now with the opportunity. I don't know what kind of ops Ryan has, but given the ops Weiran's been getting, I'm guessing not too good. If Ryan could play 4 ops under Purge magically, he would go to Venezuela to Poland, but that is not what's going to happen.
Was Purge? Was there a single card redraw and it was Purge? Because if so,
I
that's
believe so.
That's just brutal. Like that. This whatever's in Ryan's hand, like the Purge makes it so much worse. He could have spaced Grain and it's gone forever. He could have had an extra one in Venezuela there, or put it into Poland. Like this Purge is just going to be a nightmare for Ryan.
I agree. Now let's Ryan up a V. Oh, and just a 1-up. Oh, that's a disaster.
Yeah. I hope for Ryan's sake that he has at least one more 3 so he can at least retake Poland here. But yeah, what a disaster.
I would have given up. If I just had the 1-3, I would have given up Poland. I think take Venezuela, try and get that Dom off for 5, and then you would be in war games territory potentially.
Well, Bear Trap is known, so you have to keep at least 1, 3, or 4 up, because otherwise you're losing the game because you're purged or you're Bear Trapped for an entire turn.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Maybe a little bit of relief for Ryan that Weirin doesn't have a ton of ops here that are just free to play.
Decall is
you might just see
a mild annoyance there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to keep Indonesia. Angola not a concern. South Africa not a concern right now. You've got to keep Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia is absolutely a must. Vietnam is honestly kind of a must too, right? Just for country count.
You can afford to lose Vietnam right now. Country count is 7 to 6. So
You're right.
Ryan taking Vietnam makes it 7-7. So you could afford to lose it if you had to. Oh, but yeah, Ryan in a world of hurt here.
Okay, so that presumably takes Poland back.
Now, why didn't that take Venezuela?
I don't know.
Ryan perhaps figuring that if he took Venezuela, it was just going to get jammed, and Ryan has no answer to that. Whereas Poland is a little
Sure,
harder to
but
jam.
if your opponent's jamming some stuff, at least he's wasting ops that he could be otherwise spending to harass you.
Yeah. Now I guess here if we're not getting South America Dom unless we bear trap, Ryan misses a roll or can't get out, and we use China to double poke Argentina. I don't think Weiran will want to do that. I think you dump the scoring here and then maybe you bear trap, depending on what he knows about Ryan's hand. Could also bear trap, AR6 or something. Does Ryan also has OAS, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say Ryan has OAS, so maybe he's gonna wait until Ryan plays that and see if he can sneak out a South America Dom by throwing like 2 in Chile.
Yeah, that's true.
Ryan also has 5-year plan, right? So he's gonna have to space 5-year plan at some point, so he doesn't lose. He's gonna have to give OAS at some point, and he's gonna have to hold grain. Is that correct?
Yes. Whereas without Purge, he would space grain 5-year plan OAS, which would be painless, and wouldn't have to worry
Yeah,
about bear trap. So this Purge is just a nightmare.
yeah,
I mean, perhaps a bit of hyperbole, but maybe a game losing nightmare for Ryan.
yeah. If I would not say that Ryan is 100% going to lose the game, but if Ryan did lose the game, I think you could go back to that Purge as the reason why. And he has to give nuke subs on AR5. Oh my goodness.
Yep, and this
I
is what a nightmare. Yep, and now you
Yeah.
lose Africa as well.
All right. I would like to amend my statement from 15 seconds ago. This looks more and more like it was a game losing Purge. That's so bad. Oh
Ryan
my
is out of good
goodness.
regions. Okay, and there's 5-year plan going to hit grain, which is going to pull OAS. But Ryan at
Oh
least now
my
has two
goodness.
ops to respond to it. That's a good
Okay,
play from Ryan because now if he had used OAS, he would be able to fix it.
but it was AR6, right? So he could have just made him give. He should have. I kind of like eventing OAS 2 in Chile. Ryan repairs it because
Yeah,
he
I
probably
guess.
wouldn't realign. He would probably just repair, right? And then we just poke it, and then Ryan skips an AR, and then we score.
Yeah, I think Ryan would have had to realign.
Right.
No, AR7 would have been right. Ryan, yes, Ryan skips. Yeah,
Because if Okay, so now with that, I think you just score south. There's no reason to keep holding it, right?
yes, because Ryan's giving grain. You could still bear trap here.
Yeah, I like a bear trap here.
He could have bear trapped there, made him hold on to OAS, but obviously you want to be able to just flip Panama. So maybe okay, yeah, just absolutely try the +1 realigns and it blows up in Ryan's face.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like that play.
and a bear trap coup.
Probably, I probably would have invented the bear trap there, but the coup's just fine.
Oh my goodness! And war games here in Central right after you just flipped it. EEU. What a nightmare for Ryan. My goodness.
There's a chance probably at war games this turn, right? Like,
So
well, Central's only 2, no, he's a couple short. He's a couple short.
yeah,
If he hits a double space, maybe, but
yeah. I don't think you're gonna. Blockade dumps Quagmire. Oh, Missile Envy is going to hit.
war games, I
I
guess.
guess you're going to give War Games because if you could give Glasnost, but that just gives 2 VPs. I think you want to hold on to Glasnost. Yeah, you just give up War Games there.
Yeah. Nice thing for Ryan there is now he can kind of ignore Poland. He knows it's only a 2-op coming back, so he can just take a coup here somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, he needs a huge number in Panama.
I think Libya. I'm surprised at that.
I don't understand that at all.
Okay, now we just take a 2-op coup. I mean, we have. I guess Weiran doesn't really have any good targets. I guess
Yeah,
he's taking Algeria.
Algeria. Or yeah,
Oh,
Iran's fine.
yeah, he has hostage crisis in hand. He knows that that's not
Yeah, that's not a problem. And he's got Middle East scoring in hand and shuttles active. So
Yeah.
now Ryan's presence-less.
Yeah, although Ryan probably will just go 2 Iran, 1 Saudi here, I would think.
Yes, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah. And I don't really want to spend a 4-op on that, I don't think.
Yeah, I think
So I would probably just dump it.
Yeah, I'm fine dumping Central first, I think. But what are you going to spend Glasnost on if not Iran? You're going to coup Algeria with it?
You could.
I'm fine. Yes, we have 2 scorings in our hand. Let's dump 1. I like that. I like that play from Weiran.
Yeah, I guess Glasnost to Iran is fine. The hostage crisis is about to be gone forever to blockade, so. Or to space.
Okay, Ryan redraws
That's nice.
Southeast Asia, picks up 2 VPs.
But there's no way for Ryan to pick up War Games. Salt is gone, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, I don't mind giving the 2 VP from Glasnost here to take a coup on Iran.
Yeah. And Ryan right now, his best region is 1 VP. And with shuttle, it's 0. Correct? No, his best region is Europe, which is, I guess, it's 1. He's getting, throw out shuttle. He's getting 1 in Asia. He's getting 1 in Middle East. He's getting 1 in Europe. South America's even. Africa right now is just 3 for Weiran. But 1 coup stops that. Ooh, we're giving the hostage crisis?
I don't like doubling the terror. Like, Iran, whatever, fine. I don't care if you don't want to contest that, but I really don't like doubling terror here.
Yeah.
I know we can't lose to DEF CON. We're not in Cuba and Gunman's gone, but like the 2 cards can be such a disaster. Would you get 3 though?
He gets his 3 VPs off. OPEC event's going to be 3 more. And Glasgow event going to be 2 more on top of that. But remember, folks, War Games in the discards, Salt evented. So Ryan, no chance to pick that up. And there's Africa control. And oh my goodness, there's the scoring.
Wow. Okay, so that's huge.
Not a great hand here. For once, he gets low ops, but Solidarity very annoying. With Poland not overprotected.
And Ryan going to want to take a. That doesn't do anything at this point. Ryan going to want to take a coup here in Africa, but Angola is the best target, and that's very brush or realignable depending on how Weiran's feeling about it. So he's probably getting 10 off in Africa here.
I mean, if I'm Weiran, I might. I know you love this play. I might brush for ops to take Poland if Ryan coups here. Nope. Ryan not going to allow that nonsense.
There's nowhere to coup.
Ryan knows it. Ryan knows there's nowhere to coup.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would just take a coup on Argentina, I guess.
No. I don't like giving Vietnam this early with Asia in my hand. Now Indo could flip with a 2-op, and that's a big
Yeah, problem. Just give. I don't know. I mean, how much are we cooing for the rest of this turn? Like, could you just give Yuri here? Yeah. Like, is that going to be that bad? Yeah. We also know we're scoring 10 points from Africa, like right now. Like, if we end up giving 1 or 2 back from Yuri, probably 1 at most. Like, who cares?
Yeah. If I'm Ryan, I flip Indonesia right now.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Obviously, Ryan doesn't know that Asia is in is in Weiran's hand, but Ryan also is running short of regions where he can meaningfully contest. Ryan also wants to get Libya or Egypt, but I think he'd be fine with just getting one of the two. He doesn't need both in the Middle East. This should be Indonesia. Okay. This should be Indonesia. Well, okay. All right, you're going to score. Nothing to discard to Latin American debt crisis, but it's not that problematic an event. VOA to space. Ryan misses on the roll, and yeah, okay. So Ryan does not use the Vietnam bonus to flip Indonesia, and Weiran gets Asia off for just one.
And it starts to become pretty difficult to see Ryan's path in this game. All regions are now scored, so he's not. I mean, he's going to get one back from Europe, but he's going to be down 7 with an Africa control on the board. I guess he will at least have a good region now in the Middle East, but that's not going to be close to Africa. Oh,
GG.
Yep, that's GG.
GG, folks. Yep. And as man, as they say it, we will see you tomorrow night on this one. And this series is going to be evened up and go the distance to the captains in Game 7. That's Urfe and BH will have at it later on. And that's going to decide this series. So well fought by Ryan, but just comes up short. And I think JR, the big one here, is a huge ops disadvantage.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, I do think there were one or two things, Ryan, I might have done a little differently, especially that turn 3 Asia. But I don't think that would have been, enough to change the outcome of this game. But yeah, Ryan was low on ops this entire game. There were a lot of times where he would have loved to do something and just apparently didn't. Like, he just didn't have the ops in hands to do it, basically,
Yeah, and how much did he lose on that turn 7 Purge? I mean, that was so incredibly bad for Ryan.
I mean, without that turn 7 Purge, he doesn't get controlled in Africa.
No, Africa is still not great. He still has to
but
give
it's
up
not
the nuke
a control.
Subs, but it's not not nearly as much of a disaster. Yeah, and Ryan just helplessly jamming things because he wants the game to be over.
Yeah.
And Alliance is not going to be quite enough. Alliance and Reagan bombs, perhaps, could end.
Alliance works if he gets back Mexico.
Yeah.
Headline Olympic Games. Do it, coward.
Yeah. Sounds right. Probably seeing Aldrich here. So, I mean, you can headline Alliance now. You can headline Teardown. Doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, this
game's over.
This is a fine hand. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. I guess if you want to do like the most proper thing, maybe you just headline Teardown and take a coup in Europe so that
you're going to lose Mexico somewhere else in all likelihood, but maybe you get a big roll.
Right, but then you coup. Yeah, Muslims gone. Who cares?
Muslims is gone. Even if you flip Saudi Arabia, it doesn't do anything. Teardown is much more valuable.
You can coup Guatemala and then just realign Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that, but okay. Reformer, the Reformer is going to flip Italy.
There's a card Ryan would have liked to have last turn.
Yeah. So Ryan, and he's got to give up North Sea on AR1. Oh my goodness, that's the best 3-op you could have. Now, okay, Ryan probably has terrorism.
Oh, okay. Well, at least he gets to keep Italy. That would have been just the cherry on top if he lost Italy again with it.
Yeah. Now, Ryan probably has to. We have not seen Aldrich, but Ryan probably has terrorism. Okay.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Bert the Turtle should go 2 Mexico, 1 East Germany.
Fine play if you coup war in Guatemala next turn. You're winning this game no matter what, but spending the rest of the turn doing a coup war in Guatemala is just fine for Weiran here. It's a nice roll.
Just take you 3 with Alliance. Just take your 3 or space.
Yeah, I like taking your 3. That seems fine to me.
MBB is annoying. Latin American Death Crisis is an empty AR, or you can discard to it, but I don't think you're going to want to discard to it with Ryan potentially having terrorism.
Yeah, I would put that decision off for sure.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'd be fine spacing MBB. MBB, Latin American Death Crisis. Stu has all pretty much just empty ARs. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the rest of this turn is mostly empty ARs, but you have the China card if there's something urgent to respond to, but you have a lot of VP, so who cares?
Successful war there to just potentially stretch this game on into final. Ryan not playing like somebody who has Aldrich or terrorism. If I had terrorism,
No.
I think I certainly would have triggered it before that. Ryan also needs
What has
to
Ryan
take
played
back
this?
East Germany.
What has Ryan played this turn so far? He's played North Sea Oil, and then he UN's
Lads.
Duck. I guess he could have UN's Duck before giving North Sea Oil, I suppose.
Yeah. Space MBB is fine.
Because yeah, like you alluded to, giving North Sea Oil AR1 is kind of a problem. Like it lets them know right away.
Ryan space is CRG. CRG doesn't really do anything. I would have rather space North Sea. What is CRG going to do? Ryan should have clicked Indonesia last turn, but the fact that he didn't,
Africa is not controlled though right now. It's actually blocked on country account, so it would bring back the Africa control.
You are right. You are right. Sorry about that, folks. This will do that instead.
Yeah. I probably would have given Pershing there first, just empty AR it. Okay. Even if that hit would not come close to mattering.
Yeah, now you can just use Latin American Debt Crisis to discard. Because terrorism is going to be 2 cards anyway. So I think you use Latin American Debt Crisis here.
Yeah, and then if terrorism discards Pershing, like, okay, who cares? But he's got to think this one out. This game could go either way.
I mean, just poke Cuba, right? You could just poke Cuba here, or or take back West Germany. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're not going to realign on AR7, I don't think.
Probably not.
Pershing
Maybe he'll realign on AR8 though.
Yeah. Pershing is also a bit of a problem. That gives Europe Dom back, so you're going to have to repair that.
That might be the thing Ryan needs to get back in this game.
Yeah. So I guess you could realign here on AR7 if you want. I mean, I guess what do you do? You just poke Cuba? You don't even need to realign. You just poke Cuba with this. Yeah, and yeah, that's fine.
Use the China card.
They use China to poke Mexico and Cuba. Yeah, Ryan commenting correctly that turn 7 really hurt. This is just a poke Mexico and Cuba, but it again doesn't matter, folks. But sure, that's fine. Okay, so congratulations to Weiran and congratulations to the Tenerife conference. JR, that means we're going the distance here to game 7, and we've got the captains up.
Yeah, I am a little sad because of course, rooting for my conference in Seattle. But it is exciting that Game 7 is going to be the deciding game between the captains. So hopefully that'll be a good one when it comes out tomorrow. But yeah, really, really looking forward to that and hoping everyone's enjoying All-Stars and that we'll have an all-important Game 7.
Yes, winner-take-all Game 7 coming up. I'm going to do that one with Harib. And we will have that for you soon. I'm not sure of the exact air date and time, probably maybe normal ARZ time. Our executive producer, Anton Scott, at the controls. We thank him, as always, for his production of this game, as well as his attention to detail here in tracking the VP track to make sure everything is correct. VP wise. So that was, I'm sure, a lot of work for him. So we appreciate him doing that, as we appreciate all of his work behind the scenes here at Action Round Zero. But as JR alluded to, our final matchup will be BHG, our Champions League and Grand Slam champion, against Urfe Yu of the Tenerife Conference. Winner of that takes home the All-Star prize, and I'm so glad the captains get to decide it, because this is my 4th year in All-Stars, and the first 3 things were decided rather quickly. It was a little bit lopsided, so I'm so glad that this one's going to come down to Game 7. So that's going to do it, but JR, before we wrap up, any final thoughts on this one?
No, it was a good game. It was really close for almost the entire game. The late war got away from us just a little bit, but even going into the late war, it could have gone back to Ryan. Just some unfortunate draws in the late war. But yeah, that was a good one. I'm glad we got the video, and thank you so much to Anton for fixing the display there for us a little. It was great to have the VP track on the board. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, JR, for joining me. Thank you, Anton, for your work behind the scenes and making sure these are ready for production. And thanks, of course, most of all, to you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this game as much as we enjoyed bringing it home to you. Look forward to Game 7 very soon. But until next time, for JR Jones, this is Justin Abramson. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.
I heard a young father, a very prominent young man in the entertainment world, addressing a tremendous gathering in California. It was during the time of the Cold War, and communism and our own way of life were very much on people's minds, and he was speaking to that subject. And suddenly, though, I heard him say, I love my little girls more than anything, and I said to myself, oh no, you can't, don't say that. But I had underestimated him. He went on, I would rather see my little girls die now, still believing in God, than have them grow up under communism and one day die no longer believing in God. And thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong.